Hey guys, Jesse Adams here with Believe in You Fitness, and welcome back. This is going to be part 2 on calories. Now, if you didn't join us before this, I suggest going back and watching the first video on calories as a whole. So part 2, we are going to talk about how our body actually burns calories. Before this, we learned what a calorie is, where do calories come from, and the energy balance on understanding a calorie deficit, a calorie maintenance, and calorie surplus. So now we need to understand, with all the fitness trackers and different ways of measuring calories, how do we actually know how many calories we're burning? And where do we burn calories? What ways do we burn calories? So let's begin. First off, one of the ways that our body burns calories on a daily basis is through our resting metabolic rate, or our RMR. This is the amount of calories that our body burns and needs to survive just at rest. Now, for the average person, this is roughly about 10 calories per pound of body weight. So for a 200-pound person, their resting metabolic rate would be around 2,000 calories. And while most people think that the primary way that we burn calories is through exercise, this actually isn't true. And the majority of the calories that we burn on a daily basis actually come from our RMR. Now, don't get me wrong, this does not mean that you don't need to work out or exercise. Secondly, another way that our body burns calories is through our TEF, or our thermic effect of food. This is simply the amount of calories that our body burns just from digesting our food alone. And generally it comes out to about 10% of our total caloric burn. And lastly, and probably the most well-known way that we burn calories is through exercise activity. Now, when we're talking about exercise activity, there are actually 2 subsets under this category. The first one is our intentional exercise. Now, briefly explain, this is something that you are intentionally doing every day as far as our daily workouts and cardio activity, jumping on a treadmill, doing CrossFit, lifting traditional weights. You get the point. The other way we burn calories through exercise activity is our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or easily said as NEAT. This is unintentional exercise that we do on a daily basis, whether it's tapping your feet under your desk, tapping your, picking up groceries, getting in and out of your car. Basically said, it's unintentional exercise. The primary thing that I want you to take away from burning calories through exercise activity is that this is the most variable form of calories we burn on a daily basis. It can vary from person to person or even from day to day. So why this is important is we can take 2 people, the same height and age, weight, and we can have them go through the same amount of exercises for the same length of time, but have a variance in their calories burned. Now, why this is important is because a lot of people will take Whoop apps or their MyFitnessPal, and they will adjust their calories accordingly based off of how many calories they burned in order to eat more than what was prescribed. Now, this can get tricky. It is really much easier to set a baseline of calories and hit those consistently, and then we can adjust accordingly. So now that we understand what a calorie is, understanding energy balance, where calories come from, how do we burn calories, now we can talk about what is a good calorie set point for you in order to reach your specific goals. I'm going to make this simple. If your goal is fat loss and you have less than 60 pounds to lose, for an individual who weighs 200 pounds and wants to weigh 160 pounds, we would do 2,000 to 2,400 calories for that person, making sure that they're getting about 160 grams of protein per pound of body weight. The second form we talked about was calorie maintenance. That's if somebody wants to maintain their body weight. And with that, we would generally set their calories about 14 to 16 calories per pound of body weight. So if we had that same person weighing 200 pounds and they wanted maintenance, we would be setting them around 2,800 to 3,200 calories. The last one we talked about was calorie surplus. If somebody is wanting to gain weight and put on size, we would set their calories about 18 to 22 calories per pound of body weight. Now, they are going to be gaining weight as well on this because we are in a calorie surplus, and they will be gaining fat as well. So make sure if somebody is wanting to put on muscle but lose fat, we are not going to set our calories this high. So using that same 200-pound individual as an example, we would be putting them around 3,600 to 4,400 calories per pound. And however, when it comes to gaining lean muscle, this might be the most variable when it comes to an individual's gut health, activity level, and their lean body mass. All right, I know I threw a lot of numbers out there, but remember, these are just a starting point, and everyone is going to be different. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to a nutrition coach, or you can contact Believe in You Fitness, and we can get more detailed to customizing your meal plan if you guys do need any more help. But for now, that is all I have for you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video when we talk about protein.